Welcome back to the Shy City Boys podcast. As always, I am Carl Liza. With me is Jack Thiel. Now, Jack, one quick question.
What is it?
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I think this might be our first Wednesday night show.
Yeah, it is.
No, we couldn't last night. I was a little busy last night. Didn't have much time to put it in, so had to move. Had to move to tonight. This might be our first Wednesday night show, but
Depending on your new gig, it might be a permanent thing. Never know.
We'll have to find out in terms of schedule changes when it comes to the future. Don't worry, we're always Tuesday nights. We're always going to be Tuesday nights for now, but we're always going to accommodate to where we can at least come out with one episode every week.
And you can always get updates on the podcast at our Twitter.
That's right.
At Shy City Boys with 2 S's.
That's right.
Go and give that a follow.
Yeah. There was an update last night from the Twitter account, which we'll go into deeper a little bit later in the show. But yeah, follow our Twitter account and give us a subscription here on YouTube. And if you love our content, make sure to like. If you don't like it, then dislike it. And make sure to put in the comments if you have any questions on these segments, or maybe if you want to be on the show. We'd love to have a guest. We'd love to talk sports with someone new, someone with a different perspective than maybe Chicago boys. So yeah, Carl, why don't you get us started?
If you have a suggestion on if we should get any interviews, like maybe DM someone to get on the podcast.
Well, we've tried some famous people. I think the most notable person was I think Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor, and then we also tried Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, after he won the Super Bowl, we tried Cooper Kupp.
Both of them still on Just Delivered.
Yeah,
so I think they got the message, but they haven't seen it.
I think if we wanted Conor McGregor, we should have put something about like Nate Diaz or something, and maybe he would have responded. But we're trying. We'll get someone hopefully by summertime. But for right now, you just gotta kick it with us. But we'll find someone sooner than later, whether they're famous or somewhat famous, or they're just a cool person that just wants to talk.
Yeah. Speaking of all that jazz, let's talk about someone who's not giving a lot of jazz right now, and that's the Chicago Bulls. They clinched the 6th seed the other day, but in a loss. And then, as we're recording on a Wednesday night, they got blown out by the Celtics. Jack. There was also reports that Lonzo Ball is out for the season. Officially, he's out for the season. And that's kind of troubling, considering we have 2 games left before the playoffs, and we might be in trouble. Jack, what do you got to say about this?
Yeah, we're a bona fide first round exit. It's rough, and I mean, I was at the game last night. That's also why we couldn't record, but and I understand Levine didn't play last night. He's not 100%, but I don't know. There's just no energy on this team. Vukovic just looks terrible. I don't know what's up with him. He shot, I think, like 2 of 19 last night, Tuesday night.
Yeah,
probably a little better against Celtics. I didn't even watch the game, but he's not. He needs to step up. I think Caruso hasn't been what he was in the beginning of the year. Obviously, like I said, Levine and DeRozan, they're doing their thing. I will say this: I am liking the play of Patrick Williams in these past couple of games. I know we touched on it. I believe we touched on it in our last episode.
We did. How he needs to be more physical.
This is definitely going to be very important for him to get playoff experience. I believe. I mean, P. Will should be the starter. The only reason why he's not starting because he was off for the whole year, basically. So he's going to be that power forward starter next year. I think this is a great chance for him to get reps and, kind of get that playoff experience. On the other hand, losing Lonzo Ball, that's a dagger. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people understand how important Lonzo Ball is to the Bulls. And, you're losing a 6'6" elite defending guard who is shooting at a career best clip at about, I think it was 41%, 40 or 41%.
Somewhere close to that,
yeah. And that just kills you as a Bulls team that lose a guy like a team that already can't shoot the ball that well. and their best 3-point shooters aren't consistent. They're streaky, and losing him, I think they're a first round exit. I will say this on the playoffs though. You start 0-0. So the Bulls are in the playoffs. They're guaranteed to be in the playoffs. So it's a fresh slate. They're going to have to play the Bucks or the 76ers. It's looking like it's going to be the Bucks because the Bulls are going to be the 6 seed, and the Bucks will probably be the 3 seed. That can change. But Bulls will be home games 3 and 4. If they can just steal one game on the road, that could really change the complexion of the playoffs for the Bulls. But on the other hand, if they're playing like they are now, there's no point in even watching the games. They're getting blown out. It was a good win against the Clippers when they came back. Don't get me wrong, but I believe this is the third straight 20-point loss. Again, these are the top 3 teams in the East, and that's how you respond. And yeah, that's not okay. They still got the Hornets and the T-Wolves. You hope you can win those 2 games, because those are 2 games where the Bulls can definitely win and definitely build some momentum on for the playoffs. But yeah, with no Ball, it's going like a first round exit for the Bulls, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. I think the Bulls had too much success early on, because I think how the Bulls are right now in terms of record and placement is where we thought they were, or we thought that's where they were going to be,
Yeah.
So
they were way above expectation to start the year, and now they're kind of like you said, where it should have been. But do you see this article that said, at first, the Bulls' biggest surprise of the season, and now the most disappointing? How does that make sense? If you're the most surprising, and then you disappoint throughout the year, that you can't go off the expectations of the preseason. You can't set that to right now. You have to have a fresh slate every single time you have a new perspective.
Yeah.
And that's not what they did. They're trying to slander us, and I don't think that's right.
Nah, I think it's always just to create a headline in the media. I think, you made a great point, Carl, about how, we were supposed to be this good early on. And I think the level we were playing in the first half is probably the level we're going to be playing on, or we're supposed to be at next year. I mean, so I think, it is a disappointment the way the season has gone, but to say the season is a disappointment is terrible, because this is year 2 of the process. Mm-hmm. And the way the first playoff spot, 5-6 years?
5 years.
We sent 2 guys to the All-Star. Should have had 2 starters. Screwed Trae Young for that crap. But this is a successful season. It's so hard, because as Bulls fans, we were right there. We're like, oh, first place, we're gonna run with it, and we have a chance. And now here we are with the 6th seed, and we're like, yeah, this is no good. But I think you look at this year, and the season's not over yet by far. There's still a lot can happen, but this is
at least 6 more games.
You gave, I think the biggest disappointment this year for the Bulls was losing Patrick Williams. Mm-hmm. I think this was such a crucial year for him in year 2, because he is going to be a problem in the NBA. He's not going to be a 30-point scorer, but he's going to be a guy who really can make a game-changing plays, and not really a team player. And it really sucked to see him miss most of this year, because in these past games, he has really showed what he's capable of. And, that's what's just going to make it more exciting for next year. And I think there's a lot of trade and signing opportunities for the Bulls this offseason. There's a lot of bigger red flags for the Bulls than we thought of. And, of course,
we can talk about the signings and the trades.
Yeah.
Once we get more into the playoffs, or if the Bulls get eliminated. But I do want to talk about the Bulls being in the playoffs, actually. This is going to be the first time Zach LaVine has played a playoff game.
Yeah.
This is going to be the first time Ayo.
A lot of the teams are playing. Basically, a lot of these guys are in their first playoff series.
Yeah. DeRozan, he wants to avenge the terrible terrible record he has in the playoffs.
Well, I was going to say for Vuk and DeRozan, they've made the playoffs, but it's been a couple of years too. You got to remember. So
Rosen did play in the play-in tournament last year, but
I don't count the play-in.
horrendous.
But that doesn't count the play-in.
It's true. But we do have championship experience with Alex Caruso.
Yeah, and I think
I hope he lends a hand to the younger players who haven't been in the playoffs, like Levine, like Ao. Hopefully, he tells them, "Hey, calm down. It's just another game." Like,
yeah, and I think that should ignite a fire in guys like that, especially Levine. This is his first playoff experience. Obviously, this is not going to be his last one, but this is an opportunity to like really showcase. This is where guys showcase their talents.
This is where you get the $200 million.
I mean, yeah, that is true. I believe it's only 150 if he doesn't make an All NBA team, or
no. If the max he can sign with us is $200 million.
Okay, so it must have been 250 if he makes the All NBA team, but he's
then anywhere else is 160.
Okay, yeah, so it was 250 if he made the All, but he's not. So, I mean, I think they'll give him the money, but going back to the point is that it should ignite a fire in these guys. Like, you're in the playoffs, play like it. And I think this team going from, I know they don't really listen to the media, but going from, like we said, 1 to 6, like, you got to be pissed. Like, damn, these people writing you off, and you got to, and here, hypothetically, you play Milwaukee. And you know that rivalry is reignited in both of those teams right now, especially with all the Grayson Allen shit going on. Like that, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like in the playoffs, it's 0-0. If you can, that's why I kind of like if I were a playoff team, I'd rather have games 3 and 4 at home, because if you're a team that's going on the road for games 1 or 2, you steal that one game, you have all this momentum going into those 2 home games. The crowd's so much into it. The players, obviously, like that's all it takes is one game to win on the road in the playoffs. And I'm not saying the Bulls are going to do that, but I'm just saying, if Levine, DeRozan are clicking, Kobe White's hitting shots, P. Will's putting up some good shots, Vuk can actually hit something. You never know. So I think it's a restart, and the Bulls are going to have like a week to kind of like just drain out all the bad energy. And, watch the play-in games and do whatever they need to do. And then there they go. And I think that's going to be and it also gives the guys a chance to rest up. I think that's a big part. So I know the Bulls are really bad right now. I'm not saying they're going to win the finals, but I'm just saying if they can find something, and DeRozan said it best last night, the best teams in the playoffs are the teams that find it at this time. And the Bulls have 2 more games against winnable teams. And 2 teams that are not bad either, but they're winnable for the Bulls. So
absolutely
take those games, put what you got to put, and you work your ass off in practice, and you find out who you play. Probably the Bucks. If it is the Bucks, that'd be awesome.
So yeah, I can't wait to see that United Center packed. But you did say something about a restart. Let's go to something that's about to start. Baseball. Opening day is tomorrow.
It is.
It is opening day.
The Cubs are the first game.
The Cubs in Milwaukee, first game of the season since New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox got postponed for weather, right?
Yep, inclement weather. Good job, Carl.
Yeah, so the Cubs are opening up the regular season in Wrigleyville at the friendly confines against the division winners, Milwaukee Brewers. But Jack, let's not talk about the Cubs right now. I'm going to hand it over to you to talk about the Red Sox. I'll talk about the Cubs in a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, I'm a White Sox fan. Carl can always talk about the White Sox if you have anything to add. But obviously, the Sox are really in a disarray right now. Lance Lynn's out for the next 3 months.
I thought it was 2.
It's 2 to 3 months. That's something.
Okay.
Garrett Crochet is out for the year. Tommy John surgery. He took a picture with his beautiful fiance the other day, and his arm wrapped, so he's done for the year. But there is hope. AJ Pollock has been traded to the White Sox.
I thought it was Pollock, not Pollock.
I say Pollock, so my apologies.
I'm a Pollock.
Well, Pollock because it's Poll. That's how you spell Pole, and then lock. All right.
Lock would be
Whatever.
LOCK. Whole lot.
LA Dodger, AJ Pollock on the White Sox now. Thankfully, they traded away Craig Kimbrell to the Dodgers. Dodgers needed a closer. White Sox needed an outfielder, so it was a pretty even swap. A great fit for the White Sox because right field was kind of a question mark. Andrew Vaughn or Gavin Sheets. Pollock goes there now. Now you can put Vaughn in, or Sheets in the DH spot, or Aloy in the DH spot, and Vaughn in left. But great trade for the White Sox. They also were able to save $8 million in contract money. So, yeah, and for Craig Kimbrell, he didn't work out. I wish him the best of luck, but yeah, he didn't work out with us, and that's how it goes. And then a couple nights ago, a veteran joins the White Sox, a maybe future Cy Young winner. No, I'm just kidding, not Cy Young winner, but Hall of Famer joins the White Sox. It's a stretch, I know, but Johnny Cueto now joins the South Side. 1 year, $4.2 million. He's going to have to make a start or two in AAA because the deal was made so late. And Johnny Cueto, well, obviously he wasn't on a team, so he hasn't really done anything this offseason. He has a horse, though, so he's been hanging out with his horse. Obviously, Cueto, known for his days with the Cincinnati Reds. Carl, you obviously know a little bit about Johnny Cueto because Cubs and Reds play a lot. Finished a decently, not a bad stint with the San Francisco Giants. He had a 4.08 ERA last year in 22 starts. I mean, that's not bad, but he's really basically Lynn's replacement until he comes back. If he's pitching terrible, he'll get DFA'd. If he's pitching well, he'll stay. So White Sox, yep, they opened it up on Friday at Detroit. And that game, the whole series, I found this out from a friend of mine. The whole White Sox and Detroit series is sold out in Detroit. Tigers, obviously, with expectations, they have their prize prospect now, and Spencer Torkelson, rookie of the year favorite. He's in second, but still favorite.
And Bobby Witt Jr.
Yep, and Bobby Witt and Julio Rodriguez. Congrats for him getting called up. And one of Carl's favorite overrated Cubs players, Javier Baez, now on the Detroit Tigers. He's probably their highest paid player, I believe. I mean, he's getting paid a lot.
6 years, $140 million.
Hunter Renfroe just traded to the Tigers.
Hunter Renfroe, yes.
Eduardo Rodriguez, who is from the Red Sox, got signed, and obviously AJ Hinch, the manager of the Tigers. So should be an interesting series. Also important to note before I hand it off to you, Carl, Tim Anderson will not play the first 2 games. He is suspended for an altercation last year. So what happened was there was an altercation. I believe it was, I don't know if it was between Anderson, it was between the Sox and I don't know if it was the Orioles or Tigers. Obviously the bench is cleared and everything. And Tim Anderson went out there and accidentally shoved a ref, or not a ref, an ump or whatever. So he appealed it. It was the playoffs. They'll say we'll look at it next year. He suspended 2 games. So TA will miss those games. And what he said was, I don't care. I don't care about Detroit. I'm glad to be there for the home opener for the White Sox. And what sucks for the White Sox fans is Vince Velasquez will probably be the home opener starter. Due to the injury of Lance Lynn, Lucas Giolito's number 1, Dylan Cease is number 2, and Michael Kopech's number 3. So those 3 will pitch against Detroit, which leaves Vince Velasquez or Dallas Keuchel for your home opener against the Mariners, who are actually a pretty good team. So
I do like the Mariners this year.
I do remember the White Sox. I went to a home opener. It was actually snowing, and John Danks was their starter, and he's terrible. So I wish they would start the season for the White Sox at home. They never do, and it just sucks because the White Sox, they're raising their division banner and everything. Like that, and it'd be so dope to see Lucas Giolito start. But I mean, obviously, what would you rather have? Vince Velasquez starting and Tim Anderson playing, or Lucas Giolito pitching and no Tim Anderson? I think a lot of guys would rather see Tim Anderson out there. But that's the White Sox. They got a lot going on. Big year for them. But on the other side of Chicago, it might be a little different.
Before we get there, Jack, I want to talk about Barstool Sportsbook
Oh.
and their over/unders for. Let's just go over the whole AL Central.
Oh. Okay.
So I got the numbers here.
Oh.
I'm gonna we're gonna end last on the Sox, but I'm gonna give you all the whole Centrals over/unders, and you tell me which one you would take.
Okay.
Okay. So first off, let's start with probably the team in the Central that made the most moves, the Minnesota Twins. They re-signed Byron Buxton. They signed Carlos Correa. They made a lot of moves. Their over/under is 81.5. What would you take? Would you over/under that?
Here's the thing. I don't think the Twins are that good, but they are in the AL Central is not a good division right now. I mean, I'm going to admit it. That's why the White Sox are literally probably unanimously picked to win it. 81, you said?
81.5.
I'm going to go under. I think their pitching isn't the greatest, and Byron Buxton has never been able to stay healthy. You know, he is someone who always gets injured, and I think Carlos Correa is a problem. I think he's really going to do a great job there, but you know, they lost Nelson Cruz, who had almost an MVP season last year. They traded Josh Donaldson. They now have Gary Sanchez. I mean, I don't think Gary Sanchez is that good. But, yeah, I don't think they got the pitching to contend, and I think they're going to lose a lot of games late. But I think the Twins can definitely – I think the Twins and White Sox will have some fun games. But I think that over-under just really depends on Byron Buxton's health. I'll take the under.
Under on the Twins. Okay.
Under on the Twins.
So how about the Kansas City Royals? I know they got number one prospect in the sport in Bobby Witt.
Yeah.
But their over/under is 75.5.
Oh, wow. I'm going to take the under on that one.
I would also take the under on that.
I think Bobby Witt's going to be a generational talent. I mean, Alberto Mondesi is amazing. Nicky Lopez is really good. Whit Merrifield's still on the team. They don't really have the pitching, though. The pitching is really going to hold them back.
You have Zach Greinke opening for them, though, to help those young lads.
Yeah, so 75, really?
75.5.
I might go bet the under. That's a lot for them. I just can't believe that. That's only a 6 or 5 difference between the Twins. I'm taking the under on the Royals. Don't think they're going to do it.
So you talked about them, the opener against the Sox, the Detroit Lions. Their over/under is 79.5.
Wow.
Over/under.
I'm taking the under on that.
Wow.
It's just, I look at the Tigers. I think they're a great team.
I think they're 2 years away.
You just said what I said, Carl. But see, I look at the lineup, and Spencer Tolkinson's going to be a problem. I think the first 2-3 weeks first month he's going to go off. Then pitchers are kind of going to figure him out, and then he might struggle, and then maybe at end of the year pretty good. Hunter Renfroe is a very power-heavy guy. I think that he's home run or miss, honestly. I think he can be good, though. Javier Baez, but that's really it. They got great pitching, though. I think Eduardo Rodriguez is a good number one for right now, alongside Casey Mize. In my opinion, he's a future Cy Young candidate. And I think the Tigers can be good, but like you said, Carl, I think they're just a little ahead. 79, that's really close. Like those 3 teams are very close. I didn't expect that at all.
Here's another close team, the Cleveland Guardians.
I totally forgot about them. Oh my gosh.
Do you want to guess what their over/under is?
It's got to be like 68.
75.5.
Oh, give me the under. I'll put my house on the under on that one.
So before you go in on the Guardians, you have them all under.
I do.
Expected wins.
Yeah, the Guardians. Look, I'm going to be seeing the Guardians a little bit more this year, but I mean, I don't get how's that like they don't have anyone. Like they just re-signed Jose Ramirez. I get it, but like, Shane Bieber, but that's it. Like,
yeah,
wow. Oh man.
Okay.
So wait, what was it again?
75.5.
Yeah, no. I think they're the worst team. My projection is White Sox, Twins, Tigers, Royals, and the Guardians. So,
Okay, as you say, White Sox. Are you ready to hear their over under?
oh yeah, we haven't even done them yet.
I told you we're waiting for them.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, their over under is 93.5.
Give me the over. Give me that over because like I said, this is a weak division, and I think the White Sox are going to take advantage of that. And I think the talent the White Sox possess can really do great things. And I think, and if White Sox fans are watching this, I'm going to say, this is my basically message to every White Sox fan. The White Sox are going to play their worst baseball the first month and a half. I am telling every White Sox fan that right now. I know White Sox fans like to overreact, and they're gonna like. Let's say they lose the series against the Tigers this weekend. Overreactions. They're gonna be playing their worst baseball for this first part of the season, first month and a half. But after that, they're gonna take over the whole fucking league. I'm just saying it's gonna be a rough start because of the losses to the pitching staff. And you got to remember, Joe Kelly isn't even on the team yet. Well, he's on the team, but he's hurt, so he's recovering. Johnny Cueto's not going to be there for a couple weeks still. AJ, I believe Pollock's going to be there right away. He did play a couple spring training games. Yeah, he should be on. He should be an opening day starter. He's been playing a couple games with us, but I think that the White Sox are terrible at starting seasons, and I think fans need to realize that because it happened last year. Everyone overreacted, and look what happened. We won our division. We played great. So I think that the White Sox stuff, I think they'll go 95 wins. I give them 95.
Okay, let me just go over the Cubs really quick so we can get to our picks for the whole year. Okay, so the Cubs opening up against Milwaukee. Not many expectations for the year. It's about team building. It's about player development this year. I want to see what Nick Madrigal does because once the Cubs traded with the Sox for him, my man Jack Thiel said he's a 300 hitter, not for power, but he gets on base.
Oh man.
Okay, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see what they had that they gave away for half season of Craig Kimbrell. I'm also excited to see Seiya Suzuki. He launched balls in spring training in the games he played. I'm excited to see what he does. He's going to be our right or left fielder for years to come. I'm also excited to see what Patrick Wisdom and Frank Schwindel does because they both came up halfway through the season. Once Rizzo, once Bryant got traded, they both had stellar seasons coming off the half season. I want to see them build off of what that was and hopefully sustain what they did. Wisdom, big power guy. I need to see him hit consistently. I don't need to see him hit bombs. We know he can do that. I need to see him get on base. I need to see him hit for RBIs, take his walks. Same thing with Schwindel. I don't need him to hit for power. Schwindel, no. He needs to get on base and he needs to help us. Okay. And I'm also, I didn't know what else to say. Wilson Contreras, is he going to build up his value or is he going to settle for the contract that the Cubs offer him? I don't know at this point. Ask me at the trade deadline. I'm not sure if he makes it here to the trade deadline, but I think he's one of the better catchers in the league. I feel like we could probably get more if we are to trade him. I'm hoping we get more value than we got for Bryant, for Baez, and for Rizzo. Not all combined, but we need a top 10 in someone's farm. We need a top 10 player from someone's farm. Maybe a starting pitcher, maybe a center fielder, but yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm also excited for Clint Frazier. He was terrible on the Sox, but I think I said this already. I think he needed a new place, new placement, new scene. Maybe he can grow and be a better ball player. Maybe he's just a one-year guy and he gets his bag somewhere else, or he's like a Jock Peterson where he built his stock with us last year, and he got traded to, guess what? The World Series champions. So it's not about team success, it's about player success this year and just building on what we've accumulated throughout the offseason.
So would you rather, let's say, like, because this is a rebuild year, you would say, right?
Of course, yes.
So would you rather, let's say the Cubs, I don't know, they're tied for second, close to first by the deadline. Would you rather, I wouldn't say screw the process. I mean, yeah, kind of, but would you rather see them trade prospects for like veteran players and possibly sign someone in the offseason? Or would you rather see them lose, get a top 10 picks, like you said, trade Contreras for a top 10 prospect, and maybe a guy like Hendricks for a prospect as well? Which spectrum would you like to see?
So say we're 5 games back from the first place or something like that.
Keep the team or tarnish the future to try to win a weak division.
So do what we did last year, or
I guess you have to do what you did last year.
Well, here's the thing. Ricketts ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna pay people. So
Ricketts is busy right now, actually, trying to buy Chelsea.
Yes,
Ricketts
$4 billion.
Yeah,
but Jed Hoyer, I think he's gonna sit on his. I think he's even if we're successful before the trade deadline, I don't see us trading our prospects. I don't see that happening. It's time for a rebuild. We had the one successful year. We had the year before that making the conference series. We made the playoffs for 5 straight years. Never been done in Cubs history. But I think it's rebuild time. If we are ahead, and it's because of Contreras, trade him at the highest value you can. I would not get rid of from the starting 9. I would get rid of Contreras. I'd like to see Hendricks stay a Cub for the rest of his career, but I don't see it happening. If he's doing well, ship him up to a contender. Hopefully get a really good prospect back for him. Hayward, definitely. He might get designated for an assignment.
How much money would that be, though? Because he has a lot of money left still. I believe he does.
If Clint Frazier does what Jock Peterson did last year, ship him off for a prospect. Ian Happ, honestly, the outfield is going to be too crowded to keep him. If he's rocking it, send him off for a prospect or 2. Marcus Stroman, didn't even talk about him. Send him to San Fran if he wants to go there, because he's already been talking about it.
So at the end of the day, you want a full blown rebuild. Like, you just want everything. You want to do what the Sox did, basically, a full blown rebuild. Get all these young prospects and let them play out for about 3-4
years. I don't care about winning this year. I don't care. They could, as long as they don't lose 100 games, I'm fine.
Well, as long as they don't lose if they're going to do what you're talking about, I think they're going to lose 100 games this year. But I think it's important to revisit this conversation. We talked about this a little bit today, and I was going to tell you this, but in an interview, Steven Nelson, who works for MLB Network, interview with 670 Score, it's about Carlos Correa, and obviously the interesting summary he had, and how the Cubs had him. Reports were that the deal wasn't made because of representation issues. So what that means was...
no, I know. I already know. I don't even have to read the article.
So basically...
don't even say
switched his agent, and the deal was never presented to him, and he was offered 7 years, which was over $30 million. But here's the thing. Now, I don't think there's any chance Correa goes to the Cubs, but this is about the Cubs, though. We'll talk about it. The reason why he has these opt-outs.
He's signing LeBron deals, so then his new agent can get the money. He wasn't.
So
His agent wasn't going to get the money if he signed a big deal this
what
season.
Correa is going to do is he's going to opt out of this contract this year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even if he plays amazing.
Yep.
He's gonna listen to the Twins if they have an offer. The Cubs will probably come with one. The Yankees will probably. So basically, for Cubs fans, they still have a chance. But here, that's why I was kind of asking you that question. If you do a full-blown rebuild, I feel like that ruins your chance.
No. Correa said he'd be okay with a rebuild. He has said that. But no, it's his fucking agent that didn't allow him to sign a big deal because his new agent wouldn't get any of this money. He's not getting any of the money this year.
Representation issues.
His whoever the agent is, he's a big guy who has a lot of players, but it's his fault. Correa wanted to come to the Cubs. He wanted to come to the Cubs, but his agent wouldn't let him, and the Cubs didn't want to offer him just a 1 year with 2 opt-outs.
Now here we are.
I already knew that.
Correa is playing for the Twins.
It's whatever. It's whatever. Here, let me go. I'm gonna go over the. Let me go over the NL Central over-unders. Okay. So let's start with the Cardinals. 85.5. They improved a lot in some areas, and they didn't. They defensive everywhere. Gold gloves everywhere. Their over-under is 85.5. Don't think they're gonna hit it. No.
I got the over. I got the over on that.
I feel they're winning 82, 83. I don't really have an explanation. Pittsburgh, I'm kind of wild up on that Correa thing. I'm sorry. But the Pittsburgh Pirates, 63.5. Excuse me.
Down.
They're winning maybe 50. Maybe. Milwaukee Brewers, 91.5. And some people have said this is the worst division in baseball. I'm going to take the over if I had to bet on it.
I'm going to take the over. I think Christian Yelich has a great year. I really do.
I think he has a bounce back year. And then they also have maybe the best pitcher on the planet, Corbin Burns. And then the best, Brandon Woodruff, top 10.
Don't forget about their bullpen.
I was just going to say Josh Hader.
And Williams.
The best reliever. Okay, so Cincinnati Reds, 72.5. They traded everyone. They're not gonna win.
Is there any way you can do like a parlay with like 2 different teams?
You can't parlay these. It's unfortunate.
I parlay the Indians and the Reds. These unders, man, that's terrible. I like these.
I know. But 72.5. I'm going to take the under on that. And then your Chicago Cubs, 73.5.
Down on the.
The thing is, it's not going to be.
Just say it. Rip it off like a Band-Aid.
No. I'm going to the under. But it's not going to be by much. I think it's going to be about 70, 72 wins. Because guess what? You got to play Cincinnati a lot. You got to play Pittsburgh a lot. St. Louis, they don't have a great starting pitcher.
Okay, but St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah. Defensive guys. Guess what?
They have offensive guys too. What do you mean?
It's fine. But we might just sweep Cincinnati the whole season and Pittsburgh.
I don't know about that. That's hard. That's hard to do.
That's 30 wins right there.
That's hard to do.
I know it's not going to happen, but I'm over exaggerating. But I think they're going to win about 70, 72. But yeah, okay. Let me calm down.
All right, I'll switch.
Yeah, take over this.
Now we're gonna do our projections for division winners, the World Series, and all the major awards. These are very important parts to baseball. So we'll start with our division winners. For the AL East, I have the Toronto Blue Jays. They have really upgraded their team this year. Pitching might be an issue. We'll find out. The AL Central, yours truly, the Chicago White Sox. The AL West, the Angels. I think this is the year Mike Trout gets a division title and we get to see him in the playoffs. I think that Noah Syndergaard might want to this is a chance for Syndergaard to bounce back. Rendon, Shohei, Trout, Jared Walsh. I think it's a decent lineup. For the NL East, I have the Phillies. I know a lot of people are going Braves and Mets after the Grom news. No way the Mets. And for the Phillies, they are loaded. They are loaded this year. Rhys Hoskins, Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, Schwarber, I'll even say, Nicholas Castellanos, Gene Segura, Didi Gregorius, Alec Boehm off the bench. I mean, damn, Aaron Nola's pitching for them. So I got them. For the NL Central, I have the Brewers. I mean, we touched on it a little bit. And for the NL West, the LA Dodgers. Yeah, I don't need to explain that one. So I got the Dodgers winning that one.
Okay, so in the AL East, I got the Toronto Blue Jays. In the Central, I have the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah.
In the AL West, I have the Seattle Mariners.
Honestly, that's not a bad pick. That's a good pick. They loaded up. I mean, that's a good wild card.
But I'm going to say this. There's going to be 3 teams coming out of the West.
Okay.
The Angels and Houston are going to be in the wild cards.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay. So in the NL, I have not the Phillies, but I have not the Mets.
Then
I
the
have
Brewers.
Atlanta. I had to think of the name. They improved on an already World Series championship team. Some may say Freddie Freeman's better than Matt Olson, but age is a factor. Matt Olson, he's a little quicker than Freddie Freeman, and he hits nukes. So in the AL Central or NL Central, I have the Brewers, whatever, and then in the NL West, I have the Dodgers. They're just there.
Okay, so then who are your AL and NL wild card teams? Because there's 3 each.
Okay. AL, Houston and the Angels, and then the Boston Red Sox.
Okay, I got Astros, Yankees, and Red Sox in my wild card.
Who's in your NL?
Braves, Mets, and Giants.
Okay. Mine's going to be Giants, Mets, and
probably the Padres or an NL East team. Or the Cardinals, honestly.
You know what? I'm going to go Cardinals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what is your World Series prediction?
My World Series prediction is going to be the Toronto Blue Jays against the Atlanta Braves.
Who wins?
The Atlanta Braves repeat in 6 games.
Wow. All right. Mine is the Dodgers and the White Sox.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the White Sox winning in 7 games, baby. So now we're going to go to our awards. It's basically MVPs, AL MVP, NL MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year. So for the AL MVP, Luis Robert. This guy is primed for a big year. I'm not even the only one saying this. Everyone's saying this, but he is primed. If he plays anywhere close the way he did after his injury last year, this guy will run away with that MVP trophy. Give me Luis Robert for AL MVP.
My AL MVP is going to be Rafael Devers, Boston Red Sox. I feel like he's going to take a step. He's going to be one of the main reasons Boston makes the playoffs. And I think he's just a dog.
All right. For NL MVP, I have a repeat. Bryce Harper is going to repeat it. I think with the Phillies lineup, he has a lot of opportunities to obviously get his stats up. Juan Soto, I was going to say, but I do think that his team not being that good can hurt him compared to guys like Harper and anyone on the Dodgers who can really, run up their stats with the team they have around them. So I think Bryce Harper makes a repeat of it.
My NL MVP is going to be Matt Olson.
Wow,
I think he's going to take a huge step forward. New team, new area. He's a hometown kid in Atlanta, and he's going to show off and show why the Atlanta Braves made the right decision with going in with him instead of giving Freddie Freeman all that money.
All right. For AL Cy Young, I have Dylan Cease of the Chicago White Sox. Dylan Cease was top 5 in strikeouts last year. He's not the best pitcher on the White Sox right now, but he has the nastiest stuff by far. You can even ask any Sox fan. I think this could be a breakout year for Dylan Cease. He's obviously going to be in the number 2 role now with Lance Lynn out. I think this could be a make or break year for Dylan Cease, and I think it's either going to be a Cy Young season or a season where you're like, yeah, this guy's probably a good 4-man. So I really expect big things for Dylan Cease, though. Give me him for Cy Young.
I'm going to take Justin Verlander.
Wow.
Coming off a major injury last season, he's going to come back. He's going to dominate. And like I said with Rafael Devers, he's going to be one of the big reasons the Houston Astros make the playoffs.
All right. For NL Cy Young, there is a new number 1 in the city of Los Angeles, Walker Buehler. I think Walker Buehler can definitely have himself a great year. He's the new number 1, obviously, with Kershaw kind of, back and forth with injuries. And obviously the Dodgers are going to be winning a lot of games and helping his case as well.
Mine's going to be very shocking.
Sort of got it. If you say Marcus Stroman,
no. I'm not being biased. I'm not being biased. But I am biased towards this man because he's a great player, I think.
Wait.
Not on my team.
No, I know.
He comes from Miami.
Okay.
Sandy Alcantara.
Oh, wow.
I think he's going to take giant leaps this year and dominate for the Miami Marlins.
All right. For AL Rookie of the Year, I have Julio Rodriguez, who plays for the Seattle Mariners. Just got called up, 21 years old, highly touted prospect. You, Carl, you even think of yourself, the Mariners are going to be a great team this year. And Rodriguez is going to have going to have the opportunity to really, create RBIs, home runs scored.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got a lineup now filled with Jesse Winker, Mitch Haniger, Kyle Lewis, J.P. Crawford, Jared Kelenic. I'm missing probably another guy. But my point is that the Mariners are a good team. And I think Julio Rodriguez can really make his presence known in that lineup. But it is going to be a tight race also with Bobby Witt Jr. and Spencer Torkelson. This is going to be one of the most, I think in my opinion, this is going to be one of the closest Rookie of the Year races we've had in a while.
Since you said that, my AL Rookie of the Year is going to be Steven Torkelson.
Yeah.
Detroit Tigers.
Spencer.
I think. What did I say?
You said Steven.
That's Spencer. Yeah. So
okay.
How about your NL?
Continue, Carl.
My NL Rookie of the Year is
I already know this one.
Seiya Suzuki. He's gonna nuke bombs. He's gonna do everything he can. He's gonna rake.
See, there's someone in Pittsburgh that really intrigues me. No, wait, let me explain.
God. I already know who it is.
Let me explain real quick. So my pick is O'Neal Cruz, who plays for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's a 6'8", 225-pound shortstop. He is starting the year in they're doing the Chris Bryant to him because of service. He is starting the year in AAA. He'll get called up in a week or two, probably, maybe a month. But this guy is easily flat out the most talented prospect in the National League and Rookie of the Year. But I will say this. I will not be surprised if Seiya Suzuki does win it. I think it's only a 2-man race for this award, O'Neal and Seiya. Obviously, Seha's going to be in the majors and starting every day, and that might give him the edge. But if O'Neal Cruz does what I think he will do when he gets called up, I think it's going to be close. This O'Neal Cruz, if you don't know who he is, go on YouTube. This is a 6'8", left-handed, 225-pound shortstop. This guy is going to rake. And I think for Pittsburgh, which is a home run-friendly park, he's going to rake. But I do think Seha has a good chance of winning, especially if Cruz is down for more than I think he will. I think it's really between them two. I mean, it's no disrespect saying O'Neal Cruz is going to win, but I think he will win.
Before we move on to the NFL and everything, let me just say this. No one's expected Jonathan India to win it last year. So there could be someone we're not even talking about right now that could win.
I think Hunter Green makes an interesting case.
Hunter Green, yes.
Making his debut on a two-way player, but he's going to be a pitcher. Those 100, I think he can be a decent role. He is on the opening day roster too, so he's going to be coming on the majors right away. So we are a little bit on the time constraint, Carl Eliza. Yeah. So we're going to go to our final subject, I think. So now we're going to do this every week. We're going to do a top 5 something, top 5 whatever. Top 5. And since basically the show is the baseball show today, we're going to do top 5 all-time hitters and pitchers. All time. This is when, black and white was the thing for television. We're going to go all time. Carl, do you have a list ready, or are you still thinking about yours?
We're going in order?
I mean, yeah, we can from 5 to 1. I mean, I can go first if you need some time.
Yeah, go first. Go your whole 5.
All right, so I'll do hitters first. So for number 5, I have Pete Rose. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. It is a travesty. He only cheated when he was a manager, not a hitter. So he is the all-time hits leader, obviously. And he did everything he was supposed to do as a player. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Number 4, Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle, what can I say? I mean, it's so hard to talk about these guys because I didn't even watch any of them.
Yeah, I know.
Number 3, Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron is one of the best hitters of all time for the Braves. Home run king. Well, used to be home run king. RBI king, I think he is now. Number 2, Willie Mays. Willie Mays, Hayes for the San Francisco Giants, really good. Yeah, we should have thought about this. And number 1, the great Bambino, Babe Ruth. Doesn't get better than Babe Ruth. I mean, it's Babe freaking Ruth. George Herman, whatever you want to call him, the Babe. But Babe Ruth's the greatest hitter of all time.
Okay, so I got my list. At number 5, we got Ted Williams.
Okay.
Hit it everywhere. Number 4, Barry Bonds. I know you don't like him because he wrote it and everything, but he was a Hall of Famer before he took roads. So I'm going to say that. Number 3, Ty Cobb. Great hitter. Number 2, Babe Ruth.
What?
Number 2, Babe Ruth. You want to guess who my number 1 is?
Lou Gehrig?
Nope, Hank Aaron.
Okay.
Hank Aaron, number 1.
All right, so we'll go to pitchers. For number 5 for me, Clayton Kershaw.
All time?
All time. Oh my God. Clayton Kershaw, I know, look, everyone looks at his playoff record and career, and obviously it's not pretty, but he does have a ring now. And I mean, look at the numbers. He literally won MVP as a pitcher. I think it was 2014 with a 2.17 ERA. And some of the best hitters are in today's generation, I think. Obviously all time, none of them in our top 5, but a lot of the numbers that people are putting up in today's game are ridiculous. And I think for Clayton Kershaw, definitely a top 5 all time. For number 4, Pedro Martinez. Pedro Martinez really was pivotal for the Red Sox during his time there. One of the greats. Number 3, Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson had basically one of the best seasons of all time for qualified pitchers. I know DeGrom was hurt, so it doesn't really qualify. So Bob Gibson had a ridiculous year. Number 2, I have Sandy Koufax. I think Sandy Koufax, if this was a Dodgers podcast, I think a bunch of Dodgers fans would be feeling something down low right now. Sandy Koufax definitely is a Dodger great, a pitching great. and he definitely is someone that's immortalized in pitching greats. Number 1, the unit, Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson is by far the greatest pitcher of all time. This dude was an absolute freak. Tell me one pitcher who can explode a bird with his fastball. That was amazing. I mean, that's not why he's the greatest. I mean, it's Randy Johnson in general, but like Randy Johnson was, dude, I could not imagine going up to the plate against Randy Johnson. He's like, what was he, 6'10", 6'8", 6'10", something like that. Dude is chucking 100 miles per hour fastball down your throat. So Randy Johnson's my number 1, and he is in the MLB The Show for the first time in a while as well. So I love the big unit.
Okay. Number 5 for me is the big unit.
Oh, what the what? Disrespect.
I'm sorry. Number 4, Cy Young.
Okay.
They don't name awards after anyone. Cy Young, come on. Number three is Sandy Koufax. Obviously, come on. Number 2, Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
Can't believe you didn't even put him on your list.
He's number 6.
Oh, okay. Number 1, in my opinion, is Greg Maddux.
Wow. Yeah.
Great.
Why? Do you have like a reason?
Played for the Cubs. Played for the Atlanta Braves.
Bullshit.
He just amazing.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
We probably should have watched highlights on these guys before.
We should, yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of off the dome, so.
Well, next Friday, our top 5 will be revolved around the NBA. We'll try to make it more current for you viewers.
We'll do something playoff-wise.
Probably more current and more current for our viewers as well.
Yeah. But that's the end of this podcast episode. I'm Carl Liza. That's Jack Thiel. This is the Shy City Boys podcast. We'll see you next week.